Hello everyone, it's Fear with you today. In the background is some Call of Duty Black Ops 3 gameplay. Just a few of my montages, and at the end is a actual full map in which I did 40 and 7 on that map. Pretty decent gameplay all around. But today I want to talk about whether or not you should buy Black Ops 3, because a lot of people have not liked the last few Call of Duties and Ghost and Advanced Warfare. Personally, I really haven't. I've been more focused on playing other games like NHL, Madden, Elder Scrolls, and this and that. But Black Ops 3 overall does seem like a pretty fun game. I was actually having fun with it. But before I get into all the good stuff like I usually do, I'm going to talk about the bad things about this game, because there aren't really that many. I just want to get them out of the way real quick. The first thing I want to talk about is spawn protection. There's a lot of times where, you just spawn and you would die from like a hellstorm and stuff like that. And I know in the older Call of Duties, like Black Ops 2, I believe, they had to input spawn protection for that same reason. I know a lot of people like that you just spawn and get hit by a hellstorm and die, because it was really annoying, and frankly it annoyed me, and I know a lot of other people were complaining about it, so I'm going to put this in this video. They need to add just like a second or two spawn protection, or a second and a half spawn protection, where as soon as you spawn, you can't get hit by a grenade. It doesn't really have to even be gun protection like how it is in Battlefield or something like that, but just explosive protection would work. Personally, that's what I think. Next is the servers. I know it's a beta, and I understand that Call of Duty hasn't used a beta in quite a while. Last I think that they had one was at World at War, I believe, and it was Treyarch. But the servers were kind of flooded, and it was really annoying. It took some time to get into a map sometimes. I have pretty good internet, so for me not to get into a map is kind of bad. But I think that will be resolved when the game comes out, unless it gets flooded again, which I plan on, because Black Ops 3 was a very fun game. But hopefully that's just something they fix. That's usually an issue when the game first comes out, though. It has been for just about any big game like Call of Duty or Battlefield. That's one. I think they need to adjust some of the parts and equipment and when you get them, such as Ghost. If you don't know what Ghost does, the only purpose of Ghost really is to take you off the radar. And I'm a very elusive player. That's why I usually do really good, is because most time people just can't find me. And you don't get Ghost until I think level 38, if I'm not mistaken. It's 36 or 38 or something like that, which is pretty high up there. And everybody just ran UAVs, and there's a UAV up just about the entire map, just about every map, unless you were playing people that were just terrible, which happens sometimes, but not a lot. But I think that they can lower Ghost or Scavenger or some of these parts that actually matter just a little bit. That would be awesome. Or some of the weaponry, that would be pretty fun too. Next is the water. I think that the water is kind of glitched out, it seemed. The water, if you got in it, it was hard to hit you sometimes, especially if you're on like the waterfall, the map with the waterfall. You couldn't really see them, and they could see you perfectly, and it got really annoying, especially if you're playing objective game mode such as Domination, where that water is just about your lifeline. If you stay in there, you control the entire map. I think that they need to adjust that just a little bit, just to where you can at least see the player, unless you have thermal. If you had a thermal, then you were pretty set on that. Next is the spawn camping. I think they need to change their spawns a little bit in some of these game modes, especially Demolition. Because I could literally just run through the spawn with this chain gun guy, as you see I'm doing right now, and totally wipe out their entire team. That, in my advantage, when I did it, it worked fine. I could just run through, and I love doing it, but at the same time I felt bad for the players that I was doing it to, because it got really annoying when it happened to me. But that's something that they could mess with a little bit, because they became very predictable, especially if you pushed one side out, you knew exactly the next spawn and which they're going to spawn. Like right here, I knew they were all spawning in that building, and it was terrible because they couldn't stop me, and I ended up going on a merciless and getting all my kill streaks and this and that, and I felt bad. But at the same time, it was really funny. Next is score streaks. I think they need to adjust some of these score streaks a little bit. It was very easy to get these score streaks like every map. The counter UAV, the UAV, and the orbital are extremely easy to get. And if you have those, until you get to level 38, where you have Ghost, you will dominate the entire map, because UAV is so powerful. They need to adjust that, just like they did in Black Ops 2. UAV was so easy to get with these, like, especially playing these domination game modes or anything like that. You get Ghost, or not Ghost, you get UAVs instantly. Like, all you need to do is take A and B flag, and you don't even have to kill anybody. And it was kind of ridiculous. And a big problem that I had talking to some of the other players was how close range these maps were. Now, there's only 4 maps, and they're all pretty close range, which means the submachine guns and the assault rifles were pretty powerful. The Razorback is definitely one of the most OP guns in my opinion, but I'm really hoping that there are longer ranged maps. Hopefully there will be, but I play a lot of close range games. That's why you see me play a lot of this stuff is very close range, because I am a very close range player, getting in your face and just taking your head off. So not really a need for myself, but a need for other players is longer range maps. I'm sure there will be at least 3 or 4 of them that will be pretty long ranged, but you know, that's just something that the element of a first person shooter needs, is to where not the entire map is based on running in people's face. Next is the assault rifles, in my opinion, were kind of a little overpowered. This is the last really bad thing I had. The M8A1 could fire as fast as a fully automatic rifle and would kill you in 1 or 2 shots most of the time. And I think either A, they need to mess with the damage output on that gun, or B, they need to slow it down. That was probably my most used gun out of the Man O' War. But that is definitely something that they need to change, in my opinion. Even though I was one of the people that used it, I can't really say anything bad about it because it was really fun to use. But definitely, when you go into lobbies and all 6 players had a M8 and you would try to use fun guns and do this and that and just have fun, you would die instantly. It got really annoying, in my opinion. But another one is the AK. Every Call of Duty, for some reason, AK is super powerful, so I can't really complain a lot about it. But this thing had absolutely no recoil and killed you just about instantly. I think they need to mess with the damage output on that gun, personally. Out of that, I didn't really have a problem with a lot of the other guns. The Razorback was one of the other ones. It seemed like extremely powerful with little recoil, which, I mean, there had to be a good gun on every class, I guess, and that's what they picked. But it did get kind of annoying, in my opinion. But that's just about all for all the flaws. I can't really think of anything really negative about this game out of that stuff. And I can't wait for this game to come out. Let's go to the advantages. I like how they actually brought gun battles back, unlike Advanced Warfare, where it's not all about movements. It's more about who has a faster draw and who has a faster aim and who has the better aim and this and that. I actually like that the gun battles actually meant something. That is something that I really liked, unlike Ghost, where it's all about camping and whoever had a ghillie suit. Advanced Warfare is all about jumping up and down, and it got really annoying. This is actually based on gun battles, which is very fun. That brings the element of a first-person shooter game back. That's something that the first day I realized when I had this beta come out was that gun battles mattered. Next, I like the classes that you can pick. My favorite was probably the Glitch, personally. I don't use it a lot in these because I think I got rid of a lot of them. A lot of the gameplay of it, because I didn't use it effectively as like an assault thing, because it wasn't really assault. It was meant to get out of situations. But there were quite a few times where I get shot in the back and I would use it and get right behind the guy and shoot him in the back of the head, and it was really funny, especially when other people were watching me play, and they would just laugh like, "How did you do that?" Or, you know, that's overpowered. A lot of people thought I was overpowered, and I thought it was fun. The other one I used a lot, that you saw a lot in this, would be the chain gun. That was probably my second favorite, and I used that probably more than anything in this game. That's just because I like to run through the spawn and kill 9 people with it, but, you know, that's just me. I had a lot of fun with it, and it was really fast for being a chain gun. I think they need to adjust that a little bit, the speed of that thing. The next thing I have is the guns overall ran pretty smoothly, except for those few I mentioned before. Guns were used as they're used. Sniper rifles did what their purpose was. The submachine guns you couldn't really hit at long range unless you were using the Razorback. Assault rifles they're always super strong. Can't really say anything about them. Shotguns were actually close range. You can't really snipe anybody with it, which is awesome. The sniper rifle, the Locust I think it is, I like how it's like anything above the waist is a one-shot kill, and that's just through a wall. I really like that, and that's something that a lot of people complained about, was that you could like hit somebody in like the chest and they wouldn't go down on one shot. But now anything above, I think, the waist is a one-shot kill, and I like that, you know, in a sniper rifle. That's a sniper rifle's purpose. Next thing I have is movements and wall running. The movements were pretty solid in this game. Running left to right, jumping the thrust jump was very effective. The wall running I loved. I used it a lot. There were a few times where I would try to wall run and I would just like fall to the ground. I think that that might have just been a glitch in the beta, but that's something that I think that they need to work on a little bit. It wasn't just happening to me though. It was happening to people that I would talk to. This isn't just like my information. It would happen to a few different people, and they would like look at the wall, run, jump to it, and then they would just fall, and it wouldn't make sense at all. But overall, the movement is very, very fluid, especially like running, and like when you jump up in the air, you could go right down and like go right into a slide and then get right back up and keep running. And I like how there's always a sprint. You cannot stop sprinting, or if you want, you just run all the way around the map. That's something that I've been hoping Call of Duty would bring in, and I like that they did, so I didn't have to waste it on a perk. Next is the gun customization. I loved. I used it a lot. I had a lot of my guns as red, white, and blue for America, just because it was funny. But I had a few of my guns set for like dolphins, because my clan is Orca Team 6. So I had dolphins on a lot of my guns, but most of mine, like the Man of War, I called my class set was America, because it was red, white, and blue, and it was very funny to use. I was killing people with freedom. It was really fun. The customization overall was just very fun. I think some of the guns they need to add a little bit more where you can put stuff, but overall, like the Man of War, the M8, you could like customize like the entire gun. It was really fun to use. But then other ones you can only like customize like very little parts. I think that's something that they need to mess with. Next, the game modes, they brought back demo, which makes me very, very happy. Demo was one of the most played game modes ever in Call of Duty. If you did not know that, I think it's actually the most played game mode up until MW3 when they got rid of it, if I'm not mistaken. It's number 1 or it's number 2. And I loved playing it. I played it a lot of times with the clan I was in at the time called Tag 'em. A few of their players loved to play it, so I was playing it a lot. It's probably my brother's favorite mode other than Domination. But Demo, I did have a lot of fun with it, unless you were playing with a bad team and just got spawn trapped. But that didn't happen often, because as you can see, I know how to play this game decently well, so there wasn't a lot of maps where I just got spawn trapped. But overall, this game is very fun. I would definitely recommend it, especially over the last 2 Call of Duties. The last 2 Call of Duties, in my opinion, I didn't really like, and there's a lot of people who I know that didn't really like them. The last thing I want to talk about is just this game in general. It just, especially for a beta, looked and just like the graphically wise. I know you shouldn't really judge a game by its graphics. I mean, heck, some of my favorite games are Tom Clancy games made back in like 2005. You know, my favorite like game series of all time is like the Desert Storm games, the Conflict games. Those didn't really have the best of graphics, but this game graphically wise was, I thought, very well, especially for Call of Duty. You know, it's not like DICE is making it, and DICE is definitely one of those game developers that all their stuff looks just about amazing. Or it's not like it was Bungie, or it wasn't 343. You know, this is Activision and Treyarch right now, and Treyarch did a very well job, I think, in customization of the maps, the map layout, how everything works, where they put everything. But that's one thing I am very glad that they did. This game just looks really nice. You know, even out looking, not even on the map, it just doesn't stop. It's just very well very nice artwork and very nice map layouts. But that's just about all I have to say. I'm going to be making more videos about zombies updates soon, and probably a Battlefront video too, because I am very psyched for EA and Battlefront. I am actually buying like clone trooper stuff and just go to the midnight release with it. That's just about it for today. I will definitely be making more videos about Call of Duty soon. I have been working a lot recently, that's why this is such a late video. I gotta go. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and comment down below what
Hostile UAV above.
Get me some Overwatch.
Hostile HCXD in your AO.
In return, sensors
Be advised, hostile UAV all mission objectives met. Prep for evac.
The 54I will never yield.